Hello, welcome back
Hello.
to Story Corner.
Make sure to say the thing where, welcome to this video.
Oh.
Welcome back to the story.
Oh yeah, welcome back to the Story Corner. Thanks for stopping by for my video. Oh, okay. She knows how it's done. Say hi. Hi. Hi, you sweet baby.
Oh yeah. Here's Caden, my sweet little brother.
Are you a sweet brother?
Look how cute he is.
Are you cute?
He's like,
sure enough. Okay, that's adorable. Right, come on.
High five.
High five? Oh, he'll do it. Woo! Well, thanks
Will
for
you
stopping
like that?
by. We're
Will
glad
you
to
like
have
that
you here.
part?
Yeah, give us a like because the children are so cute, right? If only for the children. Oh, you want to show them off?
Ooh.
Oh.
And we did the thing from Adam and Justin.
Oh, okay. Again, thanks for stopping by. Before we get started, what did you have for dinner, or what are you going to have for dinner? You know, depending on what time of day it is. Put it in the chat just for fun. Share, give each other ideas.
Maybe if you didn't have dinner yet, then maybe it should be green bean sprout.
We had homemade hamburgers. I made bread yesterday, so we just put it on bread. I didn't do buns, but the bread was really, really good. I just did homemade hamburgers, and I made a really yummy spicy sauce instead of just like mayonnaise and mustard, you know. So they had red hot and salsa and mayonnaise, and yeah, it was really good, the sauce. And then they had cilantro on them.
Look at these little sprinkle cats.
Oh, which one to show off? I think I might have showed these off. Oh, you know what? I actually don't think I did. She wants to show off the kitty cats. See those?
Yeah, they're sprinkle cats.
They have sprinkle candies in them, and then they're little cat heads, earrings and necklace. But anyway, and then I did fries, but I did oven fries. Well, I actually air fried them, and then I baked them and put cheese and bacon on them, and they were so good. They were yummy, and I used jalapeno cheese, so they were spicy. It was good. You can have a drink. They were super yummy. And then for dessert,
just so that you know, how's the video? Down in the comments.
She watches a little too much YouTube, I think.
This time I'm trying to help her make it a little better.
A little better, huh? So then we had 5 cup salad.
And I'll show you some of my celebration dances.
You keep interrupting me. Here, come show one more dance before I go to the next.
What's sad one.
That funky one you were doing. The sad one. Okay, do the sad funky dance. Okay. Do you need some more? Anyway, and 5 cup salad for dessert, which is really good. It's like mandarin oranges. Hey, listen, you're so loud. Pineapple, mandarin oranges. I like marshmallows in mine. Charles doesn't, so I dished his bowl and then put marshmallows in mine. I put bananas in it, coconut, sour cream. So good. I love it. So that's what we did for dessert, and it was yummy. It was all really good. It wasn't a lot. I didn't make a lot of food because I'm trying to not eat very much. So it was very like a third of a plate of food. But hey, did you drink it all? Is it gone? Yeah, yeah.
And here's my new cat.
We were at a fair, and this was probably a year and a half ago, and I had a booth at a fair, so we were there for like 2 weeks doing our booth every day, and it was 10 o'clock at night, 10:30 maybe. We were leaving the fair, and there was a lady sitting there holding that cat, and Kalissa was looking at it as we went by, just staring at it because it's so cute and has purple eyes, you know. And the lady said, "Do you want this?" And Kalissa, you know, she's so shy, and she just kind of sitting there looking at her. And the lady's like, "You can have it. I want it, but I don't really want it or have space for it." And she just gave it to her. It was so sweet, and she loves it. So does Kate. They love it. It's a cute little kid. Okay, I had another couple of things I was going to show off. My cute stuff that I make. And I have so much of it. Look at these. How adorable are these? So the little roses I made out of clay. So it's polymer clay on the hearts.
And then
there's the
just
dangly.
know I know all about videos because I watch a little too much YouTube.
She does watch a little too much YouTube. And then the little crystal diamond, whatever you call them. And they're really, really cute. So, I like to give you an idea of about the length they would be, about like that. Super cute. These ones are cute. I like the kind of long, skinny.
These are made out of clay. That's made out of clay.
Yep.
It looks like outer space, right? Or the galaxy.
And then these ones they have flowers in them, or real dried flowers set in them. And then so it's the red and gold, which is kind of classy, I think. Really cute. So lots of earrings. Earrings are the funnest thing to make, so I make a lot of them. Okay, so we are about ready to get started. So yesterday, little recap, we were reading. So Evelina went into the Bringtons' house, and the Mr. McCartney guy was there, and she dropped her purse for him and said, I wish I could help. And then she left some money for him and ran upstairs so that he could pay his debt to the Bringtons and help him out, because he's obviously in a bad situation and he's in mourning, which means somebody close to him probably died, which is, hard. So this next letter is, there we go. Okay, never mind. Back down to Kate. It's Mr. Villar's writing back to her. So chapter 19. Oh, wait, it's 18. How do you spell what? Pet. P-E-T. Pet.
And then video.
Mr. Villars to Evelina, Berry Hill. Displeasure, my Evelina, you have but done your duty. You have but shown the humanity without which I would blush to own my child. Okay. Because she was worried. She said, I know you too well to think you'd be displeased with me giving him money and helping him. And you don't have to send me any more money because I'm good, Video? Just do VID and it should bring them up. Okay. It is mine, however, to see that your generosity be not repressed by your suffering from indulging it. I remit to you, therefore, not merely a token of my approbation, but an acknowledgement of my desire to participate in your charity. O my child, were my fortune equal to my confidence in thy benevolence, with what transport should I, through thy means, devote it to the relief of indigent virtue? So he's saying, I wish I had enough money that you could just help so many people, which is kind of sweet because he knows that she would be so generous and loving and help people. You're such a helper. He likes to close my book and look at the front page. He loves books. Do you love books? Yeah. Hey, don't bend my pages. Be nice. Oh, now he's pulling my hair. Oh, that's cute. Look what he did. My goodness. What did you do? Totally messed up my hair. You are a pumpkin. You're a handful. He is a handful. I'm telling you. What am I going to do with you? Be nice. Oh, don't pull hair. Be nice. What did you do? What did you do? Oh. You're such a pumpkin. Here. Take this little brush. Tickle, 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 There you go. I love you. Little pumpkin. He's a handful. Little busybody. I remit to you, therefore, not merely a token of my approbation, but an acknowledgement of my desire to participate in your charity. Oh, I read that already. Yet let us not repine at the limitation of our power, For while our bounty is proportioned to our ability, the difference of the greater or less donation can weigh but little the scale of justice. In reading your account of the misguided man, whose misery has so largely excited your compassion, I am led to apprehend that his unhappy situation is less the effect of misfortune than of misconduct. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Hey. Oh, thanks for the very aggressive hugs. You're such a wild child. Here you go. If he's making a mess, he's happy. As long as I let him make a big mess, I can get a lot done. But then I have to go clean up the mess. So was it worth it? I mean, sometimes, Okay. If he is reduced to that state of poverty represented by the Branghtons, he should endeavour by activity and industry to retrieve his affairs, and not pass his time in idle reading in the very shop of his creditor. The pistol scene made me shudder. The courage with which you pursued this desperate man at once delighted and terrified me. Be ever thus, my dearest Evelina, dauntless in the cause of distress. Let no weak fears, no timid doubts deter you from the exertion of your duty, according to the fullest sense of it that nature has implanted in your mind. Though gentleness and modesty are the peculiar attributes of your sex, yet fortitude and firmness, when occasion demands them, are virtues as noble and as becoming in women as in men. The right line of conduct is the same for both sexes, though the manner in which it is pursued may somewhat vary, and be accommodated to the strength or weakness of the different travellers. There is, however, something so mysterious in all you have yet seen or heard of this wretched man, that I am unwilling to stamp a bad impression of his character upon so slight and partial a knowledge of it. Where anything is doubtful, the ties of society and the laws of humanity claim a favourable interpretation, but remember, my dear child, that those of discretion have an equal claim to your regard. As to Sir Clement Willoughby, I know not how to express my indignation at his conduct. Insolence so insufferable, and the implication of suspicion so shocking, irritate me to a degree of wrath which I hardly thought my almost worn-out passions were capable of again experiencing. That's cute. He's saying, he's so old, he didn't think he could get that upset about something again after, all he's been through. But no, it made him mad. It's cute how much he loves her and cares. It's sweet. You must converse with him no more. He imagines from the probability... Hey, be nice, of your temper, that he may offend you with impunity, but his behavior justifies... You don't want to get up? What's the deal? His behavior justifies, nay, calls for your avowed resentment. Do not, therefore, hesitate in forbidding him your sight. The Branghtons, Mr. Smith, and young Brown, however ill-bred and disagreeable, are objects too contemptible for serious displeasure. Yet I grieve much that my Evelina should be exposed to their rudeness and impertinence. The very day that this tedious month expires, I shall send Mrs. Clinton to town, who will accompany you to Howard Grove. He's adorable. Your stay there will, I hope, be short, for I feel daily an increasing impatience to fold my loved child to my bosom. Arthur Villas. Chapter 19. I oopsed. I thought I wrote it in the title of the chapter. I'll have to fix it. But it's okay. What are you doing? He is making it difficult. What are you doing? But I can't resist. I can't resist the cuteness. You're next. Oh, where did it go? Did you drop it? Uh-oh. Here you go. You gonna get it? Chapter 19. Evelina to the Reverend Mr. Villiers, Holborn, June 27th. I have just received, my dearest sir, your kind present. Excuse me. Goodness. Oh. Ow. Look, don't scratch. Mother, be soft. Oh, be nice. No, be nice. That hurt. Don't scratch me. Oh my goodness. You are a wild child. What is it? What is the deal? How come you're so hyper? Huh? He is so hyper today. What are you doing? Where's Kalissa? Where's sister? Where's Kalissa? Where's sister? You gonna go play with sister? No? He says, you coming up here again? No? Oh my goodness. Let's see how much we can get done. Letter 19. Oh, I started it already. I have just received, my dearest sir, your kind present, and still kinder letter. Surely never had orphan so little to regret as your grateful Evelina. Though motherless, though worse than fatherless, bereft from infancy of the two first and greatest blessings of life, never has she had cause to deplore their loss. Never has she felt the omission of a parent's tenderness, care, or indulgence. Never but from sorrow for them had reason to grieve at the separation. That's sweet. So even though her mother died and her father abandoned her, she's never lacked the love of a parent because he's loved her and taken such good care of her. Most thankfully do I receive the token of your approbation, and most studiously will I endeavour so to dispose of it, as may merit your generous confidence in my conduct. Your doubts concerning Mr. Macartney give me some uneasiness. Indeed, sir, he has not the appearance of a man whose sorrows are the effect of guilt. But I hope, before I leave town, to be better acquainted with his situation, and enabled with more certainty of his worth to recommend him to your favour. I am very willing to relinquish all acquaintance with Sir Clement Willoughby, as far as it may depend upon myself so to do. But indeed I know not how I should be able to absolutely forbid him my sight. Miss Mervyn, in her last letter, informs me that he is now at Howard Grove, where he continues in high favour with the captain, and is the life and spirit of the house. My time, since I wrote last, has passed very quietly, Madame Duval having been kept at home by a bad cold, and the Branghtons by bad weather. The young man, indeed, has called 2 or 3 times, and his behaviour, though equally absurd, is more unaccountable than ever. He speaks very little, takes hardly any notice of Madame Duval, and never looks at me, without a broad grin. Sometimes he approaches me as if with intention to communicate intelligence of importance, and then, suddenly stopping short, laughs rudely in my face. Oh, how happy shall I be when the worthy Mrs. Clinton arrives. June 29th. Yesterday morning Mr. Smith called to acquaint us that the Hampstead Assembly was to be held that evening, and then he presented Madame Duval with 1 ticket, and brought another to me. I thanked him for his intended civility, but told him I was surprised he had so soon forgotten my having already declined going to the ball. Well, ma'am, cried he, how should I suppose you was in earnest? Come, come, don't be cross. Here's your grandmamma ready to take care of you, so you can have no fair objections, for she'll see that I don't run away. Besides, ma'am, I got the tickets on purpose. If you were determined, sir, said I, in making me this offer, to allow me no choice of refusal or acceptance, I must think myself less obliged to your attention than I was willing to do. Dear ma'am, cried he, you're so smart, there is no speaking to you. Indeed, you are monstrous smart, ma'am, but come, your grandmamma shall ask you, and then I know you'll not be so cruel. Madame Duval was very ready to interfere. She desired me to make no further opposition, said she would go herself, and insisted upon my accompanying her. It was in vain that I remonstrated, I only incurred her anger, and Mr. Smith, having given both the tickets to Madame Duval with an air of triumph, said he should call early in the evening, and took leave. I was much chagrined at being thus compelled to owe even the shadow of an obligation to so forward a young man, but I determined that nothing should prevail upon me to dance with him, however my refusal might give offence. In the afternoon, when he returned, it was evident that he proposed to both charm and astonish me by his appearance. He was dressed in a very showy manner, but without any taste, and the inelegant smartness of his air and deportment, his visible struggle against education, to put on the fine gentleman, added to his frequent conscious glances at a dress to which he was but little accustomed, very effectively destroyed his aim of figuring and rendered all his efforts useless. So he's trying so hard to look good, but he doesn't have any taste or style, so he's just wearing way too much fancy, showy. He just looks ridiculous more than anything. During tea entered Miss Brangton and her brother. I was sorry to observe the consternation of the former when she perceived Mr. Smith. I had intended applying to her for advice upon this occasion, but had been always deterred by her disagreeable abruptness. Having cast her eyes several times from Mr. Smith to me with manifest displeasure, she seated herself sullenly in the window, scarce answering Madame Duval's inquiries, and when I spoke to her, turning absolutely away from me. Mr. Smith, delighted at this mark of his importance, sat indolently quiet on his chair, endeavoring by his looks rather to display than to conceal his inward satisfaction. So he's so thrilled that Polly's jealous. So he's sitting there, and he's not trying to hide it either. He's trying to show everybody how tickled he is. "Good gracious!" cried young Brangton. "Why, you're all as fine as 5 pence. Why, where are you going?" "To the Hampstead ball," answered Mr. Smith. "To a ball?" cried he. "Why, what? Is aunt going to a ball? Ha, ha, ha!" "Yes, to be sure," cried Madame Duval. "I don't know nothing need hinder me." "And pray, aunt, will you dance too?" "Perhaps I may, but I suppose, sir, that's none of your business whether I do or not." "Well, I should like to go. I should like to see aunt dance, of all things. But the joke is, I don't believe she'll get ever a partner." "You're the most rudest boy ever I see," cried Madame Duval angrily. "But I promise you I'll tell your father what you say, for I've no notion of such vulgarness." "Why, aunt, what are you so angry for? There's no speaking a word, but you fly into a passion. You're as bad as Biddy or Paul for that, for always a scolding." "I desire, Tom," cried Miss Brangton, "you'd speak for yourself, and not make so free with my name." "There now, she's up. There's nothing but quarrelling with the women. It's my belief they like it better than victuals and drink." "Fie, Tom," cried Mr. Smith. "You never remember your manners before the ladies. I'm sure you never heard me speak so rude to them." "Why, you are a beau, but there's nothing to me. So if you've a mind, you may be so polite as to dance with aunt yourself." Then, with a loud laugh, he declared it would be good fun to see them. "Let it be never so good or never so bad," cried Madame Duval. "You won't see nothing of it, I promise you, so pray don't let me hear no more of such vulgar pieces of fun, for I assure you I don't like it. And as to my dancing with Mr. Smith, you may see wonderfuller things than that any day in the week." "Why, as to that, ma'am," said Mr. Smith, looking much surprised, "I always thought you intended to play at cards, and so I thought to dance with the young lady." I gladly seized this opportunity to make my declaration that I should not dance at all. "Not dance at all?" repeated Miss Brangton. "Yes, that's a likely matter truly, when people go to balls." "I wish she mayn't," said the brother, "'cause then Mr. Smith will have nobody but aunt for a partner. Oh, how mad he'll be!" "Oh, as to that," said Mr. Smith, "I don't at all fear prevailing with the young lady, if once I get her to the room." "Indeed, sir," cried I, much offended by his conceit, You are mistaken, and therefore I beg leave to undeceive you, as you may be assured. My resolution will not alter. And I said, as soon as we get there, she'll dance with me. Then pray, miss, if it is not impertinent, cried Miss Brington sneeringly, what do you go for? Merely and solely, answered I, to comply with the request of Madame Duval. Miss, cried young Brington, Bid only wishes it was she, for she has cast a sheep's eye at Mr. Smith this long while. Tom, cried the sister, rising, I've the greatest mind in the world to box your ears. How dare you say such a thing of me? No, hang it, Tom, no, that's wrong, said Mr. Smith, simpering. It is indeed to tell the lady's secrets. But never mind him, Miss Biddy, for I won't believe him. Why, I know Bid would give her ears to go, returned the brother, but only Mr. Smith likes Miss best. So does everybody else. While the sister gave him a very angry answer, Mr. Smith said to me in a low voice, Why now, ma'am, how can you be so cruel as to be so much handsomer than your cousins? Nobody can look at them when you are by. Miss, cried young Brington, whatever he says to you, don't mind him, for he means no good. I'll give you my word for it, he'll never marry you, for he has told me again and again he'll never marry as long as he lives. Besides, if he'd any mind to be married, there's Bid would have had him long ago, and thankful too. What? You? Gee! Do you want a drink? Here, let's take the lid off so you can get the last little bit. Here. Hey. Here you go. You get some? Yeah. Come, Tom, don't tell secrets. You'll make the ladies afraid of me. But I assure you, lowering his voice, if I did marry, it should be your cousin. Should be. Did you ever? Shh. Did you ever, my dear sir, hear such unauthorized freedom? I looked at him with a contempt I did not wish to repress. Caden. And walked to the other side of the room. Hey, don't pull my hair. How come you're being so grumpy and mean? What's the deal? Need a drink? What's sister doing? She's probably watching a YouTube video. Holy cow, look at he is like look at me. He has pulled all my hair.
I'd never ruin your cut coat.
I'm glad you wouldn't. It'd be hard to though, because it's pretty nice. You're always very careful. I appreciate you. Very soon after, Mr. Smith sent for a hackney coach. When I would have taken leave of Miss Brington, she turned angrily from me without making any answer. She supposes, perhaps, that I have rather sought. You're noisy. That I have rather sought than endeavored to avoid the notice and civilities of this conceited young man. The ball was at the Long Room at Hampstead. The room seems very well named, for I believe it would be difficult to find any other epithet which might, with propriety, distinguish it. It is without ornament, elegance, or any sort of singularity, and merely to be marked by its length. I was saved from the importunities of Mr. Smith the beginning of the evening by Madame Duval's declaring her intentions to dance the first two dances with him herself. You can imagine, he's probably pretty embarrassed. He goes thinking he's going to dance with the prettiest girl in London, and instead he's going to be stuck dancing with the grandma. That's what he gets. Mr. Smith's chagrin was very evident, but as she paid no regard to it, he was necessitated to lead her out. I was, however, by no means pleased when she said she was determined to dance a minuet. Indeed, I was quite astonished, not having had the least idea she would have consented to, much less proposed such an exhibition of her person. She had some trouble to make her intentions known, as Mr. Smith was rather averse to speaking to the master of the ceremonies. During this minuet, how much did I rejoice in being surrounded only with strangers. She danced in a style so uncommon. Her age, her showy dress, and an unusual quantity of rouge drew upon her the eyes, and I fear the derision of the whole company. So she's an old lady in a very revealing gown and a ton of makeup, probably looking like a hooker. Okay, baby. He's a helper. Dancing with this young man, so you can see how that would make everybody stare. Hey, Caden, oh my goodness. You're such a handful. Look at this foot. Okay. Who she danced with, I know not, but Mr. Smith was so ill-bred as to laugh at her very openly, and to speak of her with as much ridicule as was in his power. But I would neither look at nor listen to him, nor would I suffer him to proceed with the speech, which he began, expressive of vexation at being forced to dance with her. I told him very gravely that complaints upon such a subject might, with less impropriety, be made to every person in the room than to me. When she returned to us, she distressed me very much by asking what I quit. Caden, he's gonna kick the whole table over. Quit it. You're gonna knock everything off. Oh my goodness. Is it rough? Huh? Here, do you need a drink? No? You want it? No? Okay. Here. Give me your finger. Give me your no finger. Watch. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There it is. Oh, you made such a mess. He made such a mess. Not only of me, but the pens and markers all over the floor. Whatever. Yeah, you're a helper. When she returned to us, she distressed me very much by asking what I thought of her minuet. I spoke as civilly as I could, but the coldness of my compliment evidently disappointed her. She then called upon Mr. Smith to secure a good place among the country dancers, and away they went, though not before he had taken the liberty to say to me in a low voice, "I protest to you, madam, I shall be quite out of countenance if any of my acquaintance should see me dancing with the old lady." For a few moments I very much rejoiced at being relieved from this troublesome man, but scarce had I time to congratulate myself before I was accosted by another, who begged the favor of hopping a dance with me. Oh, hi, so nice. Thank you. I love you. I told him that I should not dance at all, but he thought proper to. I love you so much. I love you. But he thought proper to importune me very freely, not to be so cruel, and I was obliged to assume no. Do you want it or not? You said you did. Oh, you want this? Yes. To assume no little haughtiness. Before I could satisfy him, I was serious. After this, I was addressed, much in the same manner, by several other young men, of whom the appearance and language were equally inelegant and low-bred, so that I soon found my situation was both disagreeable and improper, since, as I was quite alone, I fear I must seem rather to invite than to forbid the offers and notice I received. And yet, so great was my apprehension of this interpretation that I am sure, my dear sir, you would have laughed had you seen how proudly grave I appeared. I hope you can hear over all his noises. Ooh, be careful, don't break my, oh my goodness. Hey, how come you're so violent tonight? No. I need does anybody know of a baby straight jacket? A baby straight jacket. I need a straight jacket. I need a straight jacket. Yeah, I do. To pin you down. No, pumpkin. Where are you going? I love you. What are you doing? I knew not whether to be glad or sorry when Madame Duval and Mr. Smith returned. The latter instantly renewed his tiresome entreaties, and Madame Duval said she would go to the card table, and as soon as she was accommodated, she desired us to join the dancers. I will not trouble you with the arguments which followed. Mr. Smith teased me till I was weary of resistance, and I should at least have been obliged to submit, had I not fortunately recollected the affair of Mr. Lovell, and told my persecutor that it was impossible I should dance with him, even if I wished it, as I had refused several persons in his absence. Oh my goodness, look at this. I am a mess. He just... Sorry. He was not contented with being extremely chagrined, but took the liberty, openly and warmly, to expostulate with me upon not having said I was engaged. The total disregard with which involuntarily I heard him made him soon change the subject. In truth, I had no power to attend to him, for all my thoughts were occupied in retracing the transaction of the 2 former balls at which I had been present. The party, the conversation, the company. Oh, how great the contrast! In a short time, however, he contrived to draw my attention to himself by his extreme impertinence, for he chose to express what he called his admiration of me, in terms so open and familiar that he forced me to express my displeasure with equal plainness. But how was I surprised when I found he had the temerity, what else can I call it, to impute my resentment to doubts of his honour, for he said, "My dear ma'am, you must be a little patient. I assure you I have no bad designs. I have not upon my word. But really there is no..." What? Oh, did you get a hair in your mouth? I got it. I got it. I got it. You good? Yeah, you good now? Yeah. Okay. If I get you up here, you're going to start trying to trash stuff. Yeah? He's such a boy. I love you. Where'd you go? He's so cute. I can't stand it. I love you. You crazy baby. You're making it very difficult to read. You know that? You're so noisy. I assure you I have no bad designs. I have not upon my word, but really there is no resolving upon such a thing as matrimony all at once, what with the loss of one's liberty, and what with the ridicule of all one's acquaintance. I assure you, madam, you are the first lady who ever made me even demur upon this subject, for after all, dear madam, marriage is the devil. Your opinion, sir, answered I, of either the married or the single life can be of no manner of consequence to me, and therefore I would by no means trouble you to discuss their different merits. I'm sure you cannot even hear me. Katie, where'd you go? I'm almost done. I'll just finish. Why, really, ma'am, as to your being a little out of sorts, I must own I can't wonder at it, for to be sure, marriage is all in all with the ladies, but with us gentlemen it's quite another thing. Now only put yourself in my place. Suppose you had such a large acquaintance of gentlemen as I have, and that you had always been used to appear a little smart among them. Why now, how should you like to let yourself down all at once into a married man? I could not tell what to answer. So much conceit and so much ignorance both astonished and silenced me. I assure you, ma'am, added he, there is not only Miss Biddy, though I should have... Oh, did you bunk your head? Did you bunk? Come here. Did you bunk? Where'd you go? Yeah. Okay. There's not only Miss Biddy, though I should have scorned to mention her, if her brother had not blabbed. For I am quite particular in keeping ladies' secrets, but there are a great many other ladies that have been proposed to me, but I never thought twice of any of them. That is, not in a serious way, so you may very well be proud, offering to take my hand, for I assure you, there is nobody so likely to catch me at last as yourself. Acting like he's some wonderful prize. You want to get up? I'm almost done. I have like one more paragraph. Then we'll come throw you in the bathtub. Want a bath? No. What do you mean no? So, you are totally mistaken if you imagine you have given me any pride I felt not before by this conversation. On the contrary, you must allow me to tell you. I'm so close to being done. Just a minute, baby. Whoosh. He is not happy now. Sometimes when he gets hurt, he doesn't cry like because he's hurt. He gets mad, like you did this on purpose. Or something. He bonked his head on the table and now he's mad. He's a boy. On the contrary, you must allow me to tell you, I find it too humiliating to bear with it any longer. I then placed myself behind the chair of Madame Duval, who, when she heard of the partners I had refused, pitied my ignorance of the world, but no longer insisted upon my dancing. Indeed, the extreme vanity of this man makes me exert a spirit which I did not, till now, know that I possessed. But I cannot endure that he should think me at his disposal. The rest of the evening passed very quietly, as Mr. Smith did not again attempt speaking to me, except indeed after we had left the room. And while Madame Duval was... Just a second, baby. Was seating herself in the coach, he said in a voice of pique, Next time I take the trouble to get any tickets for a young lady, I'll make a bargain beforehand. I'm sorry. That she shan't turn me over. Yeah, I have like 2 sentences. I'll make a bargain beforehand that she shan't turn me over to her grandmother. We came home very safe, and thus ended this so long projected and most disagreeable affair. All right. Chapter 19. Well, I am sorry for the grumpy interruptions of the cutest baby ever. I better go take care of him. But I hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for stopping by. Sorry we were so interrupted, and we'll see you next time. Good night.